You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
10 seconds left now. Nichushkin right wing corner, flicks it ahead. This will go all the way down and in. It's going to be a 5-2 final in Game 2 as Val Nichushkin ices this one. With 4.4 seconds left, the Avs are going to take a 2-0 series lead.
Second round in Denver, Colorado. Wild lose 5-2 to the Colorado Avalanche. Now down 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. Kevin Fallness in St. Paul from the Bob Kurtz Radio Center. Out there at Ball Arena, Tom Reid saw the Wild fall short once again. They tried to get a spark by changing the goaltender, Tom. That in and of itself, that wasn't the biggest problem, but that certainly didn't help.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. I think the first couple of goals going against Minnesota like that, and Minnesota's got to find a way to stay out of the penalty box too. But you've got to have goaltending, you've got to have everyone working together, and I feel bad for Gus. I mean, he's kind of a nervous position to be put in there, but he wanted to play, and that's what John Hyde said this morning. You know, he's anxious to get back in. He wants to prove himself. And he didn't get all the help that he was looking for. They needed some more goals, but unfortunately the power play against them hurt them tremendously once again, as it has done all season long.
Yeah, Philip Gustafsson, 18 saves off of 22 shots, gives up 4 goals in his postseason debut, at least this time around. But you're right, the specialty teams are doing the Wild no favors. 0 for 2 tonight, although it did look better, especially that first one when I think they were credited with 6 shots on goal. But the Avalanche slice and dice them on the PK. Avalanche 2 of 5 on the man advantage.
You know, I've often said at the beginning of the year, I said, you know, your best teams are always going to be your best team, and you need your best players to be your best players. But at the same time, Minnesota's got to play smart and stay out of the penalty box. I mean, they're taking some penalties here. Maybe they're reaching too much. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but obviously this is the discussion I'm sure the coaching staff has had, the players have had. But it continues, and it's got to quit, or it's going to be a quick exit for Minnesota.
Are the Wild being physical enough, Tom?
I think it could be a little more physical. I really do. But at the same time, you have to look at the speed of the opposition they're playing against, too. There's no doubt that the Avalanche has a team that really has a lot of speed, especially between those blue lines. They do those drop passes like Joe talks about all the time, a double drop pass sometimes on the power play, and kind of throws you in a little bit of helter-skelter position trying to figure out what's going to happen next. But, you know, that being said, this game is over. You can worry about it for a little bit, but now you've got to prepare yourself and get yourself ready for that next game coming up.
Yep, Avalanche have held serve. They win their 2 games on home ice, but now the series shifts back to St. Paul once again. What would you like to see from the Wild there in Game 3, 8 o'clock puck drop on Saturday night?
I really do believe you're going to see a much more enthusiastic team coming in. They're going to be ready. The crowd's going to be roaring. We know that's going to happen. That's a big plus for Minnesota, but I expect Minnesota to really step up on the games coming up this weekend.
Okay, Tom, thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Reid at Ball Arena. Wild are down 2-0 in the series. 10th time in franchise history they've trailed a series 2-0, and the second time they've done it against the Colorado Avalanche. But I don't know what this means. Maybe it's a precursor. Maybe it's a harbinger. I don't know. In 2014, the Wild were down 2-0 to the Avalanche and won the series in 7. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't think so. I think the Wild still have a little something left to give in this series, and I think their best foot forward will be Saturday night in St. Paul. Watch party in St. Paul on Kellogg Boulevard between 5th and 7th Street. Come on down there for that. You can also get tickets in the arena. Good luck. I don't think there's many available. Or you can listen on most of these same stations. Again, extended pregame at 7 o'clock on KFAN. Puck drops just after 8 o'clock on the network. Be there or be square. And by the way, we got Wild Fan Line tonight to break down some of the carnage in that 5-2 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. We'll break, and then we'll get you some audio from the podium when John Hines addresses the media and more. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino. 5-2, the Wild lose tonight in Denver, Colorado. For our Grand Casino play of the game, we'll go to the second period. Yeah, the Wild give up the first shot of the hockey game. It goes to Martin Necas. He scores just 2:51 into the contest, but it's answered really quickly by Kirill Kaprizov, who scores just 6 seconds later. Even at a goal apiece, Landeskog scores on the power play, puts the Avalanche back up on top, go to the second, and this is kind of the backbreaker. It's a softie, finds its way home. It ends up being the eventual game winner. Nicholas Waugh, the Grand Casino play of the game.
As Ross Colton carries in, feeds Nick Waugh for a shot, and he scores.
Is a tough one early on here in the second period. That comes at 1 minute and 24 seconds.
They score on their first shot of the hockey game. They score on their first shot of the second period. Top shelf for Nicholas Waugh. Short side over Gustafson's blocker. From the rim of the right circle, just above the hash marks, it's what we call a hashtag softie, and it's the Grand Casino play of the game. Where Minnesota comes to play, visit GrandCasino.com to plan your next visit. More from this one when we continue. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Now you're up. Feeds the right point. Faber, a hurried shot. Tipped down in front. Wedgwood looking for it, and he's got it with Boldy trying to pry it home. Following it up, McCarron swept one in front. Open with a backhander was Tarasenko, but Wedgwood deep in his goal mouth made the save. Kaprizov at the back post. Found him, and Wedgwood made the save. Huge stop there, Wedgwood.
Yeah, give credit where credit is due. Scott Wedgwood, very good on this evening, stopping 29 of the 31 shots he faced, and grabs the XL Energy big saves of the game, powered by XL Energy. Proudly powering the great state of hockey with safe, clean, and reliable energy. Explore how they're making energy work better for you and our communities at XLEnergy.com. Scott Wedgwood, 9 saves in the first, 10 in the second, another 10 in the third. Like I said, 29 saves total for Scott Wedgwood, who was awarded the number 2 star of the game by the folks out there in Ball Arena. Nathan McKinnon, by the way, got the number 1 star of the game. Gabriel Landeskog, the number 3 star of the game. Philip Gustafsson, not named a star of the game. 18 saves on 24 shots. Gives up the 4 goals in his first game of the postseason this time around. Now 4-7 in his postseason career. On the season, 28 wins, but now has lost 3 straight since the end of April. Since the beginning of April, middle of April, whenever the regular season ended. Also dropped 4 of his last 6 starts in the regular season, giving up 25 goals in those 6 appearances. Tonight, not much better. 18 saves, 4 goals against. Wild lose 5-2 and trail in the best-of-7 series, 2-0. John Hines should be addressing the media shortly, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino. It's a 5-2 loss. Wild fall to the Colorado Avalanche, and like I said, for the 10th time in franchise history, they trail in a best-of-7 series, 2-0. It also happened in 2014 against the Colorado Avalanche. In that one, the Wild lost the first 2, won the next 2 on home ice, and ended up winning the series in 7 games. So it can happen. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, considering how things went down in Denver, but it can happen, and hopefully it does in 2026. John Hines when we continue, and don't forget Wild Fan Line right around the corner as well. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Take
just get back home, obviously go over some things here, and 3 days of rest, so take that and go over some things and get back at it home.
Jared Spurgeon with the media. Yeah, that's one thing they definitely can look forward to, the fact that they have a couple of days off in between games. They play here on a Tuesday night. They get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off before they return to the ice for an 8 o'clock puck drop on Saturday night in St. Paul. Wild down 2-0 in the best-of-7 series. Obviously, that's a critical one Saturday night in front of the home crowd. That's how I see it. I wonder what Michael McCarron thinks. Let's get inside that Wild locker room. He's with the media now.
Creeping in after a game like this where it seemed like you moved the puck well, but, things got physical, just all of that.
I don't know who told you we're frustrated. I think I don't know where you got that narrative.
Jared mentioned, just keeping frustration at bay and,
okay.
like this.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just his thought process. I think we said the same thing last series. Like, you go down in a series, backs up against the wall, see what you're made of kind of thing. I think obviously special teams, again, kind of creeping in and biting us a little bit. I think our 5-on-5 game, we played pretty good. 5-on-5, we gave ourselves some chances. Their goalie was really stood on his head tonight. I think he made some really good saves for them. I think our penalty kill can be a game changer for us. And same thing with our power play. I think special teams, another little story of the night.
What's the biggest adjustment you'd like to see the PK make just to cut back on those goals?
I mean, make our reads. I think they moved the puck quick. I think Dallas might have moved it a little quicker, but I mean, you can see these plays developing. Even when I'm on the bench, you can see them developing, and we just got to be more aware of where guys are on the ice or on the PK. I think we're doing a lot better with our clears, or we're up and out. They're getting some grade A looks, so we're gonna have to clean it up.
Did you notice them adjust defensively, I guess, or what do you chalk up to?
No, we got grade A chances tonight at 5-on-5. We were really good 5-on-5. I think maybe 50-50, maybe a little bit of edge toward for us, I feel. Our 5-on-5 game was good tonight. I like the way we went to the net. We crashed the net. Bounces might have just not gone our way tonight, but eventually they'll go for us. We keep going to the net. We keep getting dirty, and they'll go in for us.
Like last series, you kind of imposed your will on Dallas in terms of the forecheck and physicality. Do you feel like you're getting there enough still in the first couple games?
They play different. Colorado plays different. Dallas was bigger. These guys move really well back there. When you chip the puck in, they keep the puck moving really well, and they move with the puck as well. So they're hard to touch. We're gonna have to find our way to slow these D down more. But opposing our will, I thought 5-on-5 we did really well.
Michael McCarron with the media following the 5-2 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. One more break. We'll try to get you John Hines, but if nothing else, we know this much. There will be Wild Fan Line. Myself and Pat Micheletti taking your text and talkbacks on the flagship for Wild Hockey, FM 100.3 The Fan, and at KFAN.com/listen. That's coming up after one more pause. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Colorado 4-0 and scoring first this year. Here's a chance for the Wild. Kaprizov's in alone. He scores! Kaprizov gets it right back. A breakaway that he rifled glove side right off the center ice draw, and it's 1-1 in game 2.
And that comes at 2:57, so just 6 seconds apart between those two goals, and boy, what a difference.
Yeah, Avalanche scored on their first shot of the hockey game. So too did the Minnesota Wild. Like Tom Reed said, just 6 seconds after Necas made it 1-0, Kaprizov ties it with his third of the postseason, tied for 5th fastest goals by two teams in playoff hockey history. Happened 4 times in just 5 seconds apart, including in 2018 by the Pens and Flyers. Wild, one of 4 teams to do it in 6 seconds. Unfortunately, it didn't translate into a win. Kaprizov does tie the game at 1, but Landeskog puts the Avalanche back on top on the power play. Middle of the first period, Wah scores in the second. That's the eventual game winner. They had 2 more in the third period, and Marcus Johansson does break that up momentarily, give the Wild a glimmer of hope, but in the end, they fall short, and they lose in Game 2. Wild go 0 for 2 on the power play. The Avalanche go 2 for 5. One of the stars of the game, Scott Wedgwood, 29 saves in the win. Philip Gustafson, in his 2026 postseason debut, 18 saves on 22 shots, gives up 4 goals, suffers the loss. Again, the Wild go 0-2 in the first 2 games of this best-of-7 series. Tonight they fall in front of 18,154 at Ball Arena. So that puts a wrap on game number 2. Game 3's coming up Saturday night in St. Paul. Viewing party on Kellogg Boulevard. Get more information, wild.com/playoffs. But I can tell you it's free. It's open to the public. The real fun will be inside the barn, but if you can't make it in there, come on down and party with the fans down on West 7th. That's going to be a blast. And then if you can't be in that place either, if you can't be outside, if you can't be inside, well, of course, we'll have all the action on your radio dial. Extended pregame starts at 7 o'clock in the Twin Cities on KFAN with myself and Pat Micheletti. The network will join about 7:45. Puck drops just after 8 o'clock on most of these same stations. Special thanks to Alexis Huss, Aaron Sickman, Dylan Daniel, and Helvey. And for Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed, I'm Kevin Fallness. Get ready for Wild Family. Myself and Pat Micheletti ready to handle your thoughts on a disappointing outcome in game number 2 in the Twin Cities on KFAN and, of course, on KFAN.com/listen. For the rest of you, we'll talk to you Saturday night on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
You've been listening to your exclusive home for Minnesota Wild hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
One more thing! Let's go Wild!
Wild hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs is presented exclusively by the Minnesota Wild, the National Hockey League, and the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
The best place to go for all your Minnesota Wild audio needs is the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. Everything Minnesota Wild related, including highlights, press conferences, players, coaches, general managers, and more. It's available on the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. It's all just a click away at wild.com/podcast.